Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Joyful Artistry, and I'm here today because I made this cute little wall hanging. I love it. This is a vintage image of a little, not even sure if it's a boy or a girl. Let me see if there's something on the front. I can't tell what that little thing is there. It might just be a spot on the picture. But what I did was I took some vintage buttons. I made a bow. I took this picture, this little wall basket. I added a little gesso to it to just, I didn't like all the natural look to it. So I just added a little bit of, I don't know if you would call it dry brushing, but I added some gesso to it to just give it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of color. And then these are some vintage linens that I put behind it. So I'm just going to make one of these. I don't think it'll take very long. At least I hope not. So I'm going to, let me just make sure. Yep. Okay. I want to make sure I'm in the picture, and lost my little paintbrush I wanted to use, but that's okay because I have others. I'm just going to put a little blob of gesso on my paper. And I'm probably going to be sorry that I put it on this side because that's where my linens are. Grab a little paintbrush here. And if you can see, just move the camera over a little bit. Oh, see there. I just put a little dab on my brown paper, just putting a little bit on my brush. And I'm just as simple and easy as this. Just brushing it on. I just want to give it a little, just some texture, a little bit of color, even though white's not really a color. But just a little, so that it's just not plain. I guess that's the word I want to use. I just don't want it plain. So, yeah, so I'm just doing this. Probably pulled out too much gesso, but that's okay. It's okay. My bottle of gesso I've had for quite a while. Some areas are a little bit darker than others. It's okay. I'm not even sure that, I want to say this is dry brushing. I don't even know if that's right. I'm not a painter. One of my kids would know. She's an artist. She's getting her MFA, her master's in art at Boise State. So I'm sure if I asked her, she would know. And she'd be able to tell me. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. It's dreary outside here in New Hampshire. It's been raining all day long, and because it is August, you know what that means. There's a lot of humidity. So I'm not sure if you can hear my fan. I just turned off my AC because it was a little bit loud. Just gonna go along my edge here. Actually, I'm gonna do the other side. I wanted to just so it looks finished to me. If I put a little bit here, doesn't have to be a whole lot. Oop, oh boy, more than I want. Ended up with a little bit more. That's okay. I'm gonna blend it in. Lay this down. You know, learn as you go, right? I haven't done this very often. I thought at first I would paint the whole thing, and then I decided that I really like the natural look, that I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of natural look on here. So I thought I would do that. Here we go. I'm going to go around and kind of do the outside a little bit. See, now I'm afraid to put, I'm going to put too much on. All right. Edge here. I'm gonna make sure that I am. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm fully in the frame. Side. Yeah, so we're gonna add a little picture to this, some vintage linens, vintage photo of a couple that I wanted to show you. Then once I kind of get a little bit of my background on, we can decide which we like, which picture we like. Grabbed a couple of old baby cards. See if there's a word that we could find on the baby card that I thought would be fun to put on. Yeah, so I think that is, we're not going to see a whole lot of it. Just want to make sure I've got enough that kind of gives me a little texture, a little look. Look at that. Okay, so we have that. All right, I'm just going to let this dry a little bit. It won't take long because there's not much there. Grab a little piece of this little pillowcase. Just want to make sure it's not. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Yeah, we're good. All right, so here are my images. I have these two. I don't know how well you can see them. They're both pretty cute. As you can tell, she's definitely clearer, a clearer image. He's got a lot of shadowing in him. I do like that. He has, I don't know if it's dirt on there, but it gives it some texture. I like that look, but I absolutely love this little sweetheart. So I'm thinking it was between one or the other. This baby's actually squatting. Isn't that hilarious? I bet mom or dad is behind the baby, holding the baby like that. But I think I'm going to go with her. I think she's adorable. I did a baby one in the first one. So I think we'll start with her. And I have some different linens I wanted to try behind her. I'll set her right there. And I found this little doily that I wish I had kind of left it scrunched, but I don't know. I needed to iron it. It was a little too scrunched up for me. But I am going to give it a little texture because it's too perfect. Because of course I got the starch out and starched the thing. So I think I'm going to start with this in the background. I like that look. And then I pulled a little doily, a little vintage doily. Isn't that beautiful? I had a whole bunch of these. At least I think it's vintage. And so I wanted to put her kind of not really in the middle. I wanted to put her kind of off to the side towards the bottom. And then I thought I would add a little bit of this edging. I liked this. I thought maybe we could just kind of, maybe a little like that. Alongside like that. Now she's going to end up more in the middle like I did not want. But you know what? I'm going to put this like this. And I definitely don't want to lose this edging here. There we go. Yeah. You know what I can do? Let's try it the other way. And you know, it's always a little trial and error. I'm gonna try it like this. And then put this here. And I can still put her off to this left side that I wanted to. So I thought that would be pretty cute. And then I grabbed just some edging. I thought maybe I could add some of this, or maybe cut one of these off. Let's try that and kind of use it as a flower. Doesn't have to be perfect. I thought maybe if we did something like that with a little bit of an overlay of one of these. I love these little images here. Just kind of an overlay that maybe could do a little something like that with a little something like this. And then we're going to make a bow to put up in this little corner here. So before we glue anything down, I think I want to make my bow to make sure that I like how everything's going to be placed. So when I make my bow, I pulled out, I ripped some of this fabric. It's like a netting, but a very fine kind of netting, not a tulle. Maybe it is a kind of a tulle, but more of a fabric. So I pulled out some of these, some of this, some thin lace, some of my thicker lace, and just some ribbon. And this ribbon, as you can tell, has been ripped off of something. I'm going to keep the threading on there because I like that. And then I was looking in one of my jars and I love the color of this. So I'm going to add some of this as well into this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take one of these. I think I have a couple different pieces in here. That's why I'm saying one of these. And I'm going to just go back and forth and have loops on either side. I don't have anything fancy like a bow maker. Oh, there's a little rubber band. Okay. Oh. So I've run out of this fabric. Yeah, this kind of fabric that I tore into a ribbon. So I'm going to add this in, and I'm going to fold these over. And as I run out of one or the other, I'm just going to add some more. So now I'm going to pull in this guy. Actually, I'm going to pull some of this in now, the wider, because I kind of want some layers here. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to add a little of what I tore up onto this. Okay. Oh, let me get this in here. I know it looks like a mess, but all I do is I go back and forth. When I was a kid, my dad owned a craft store in a town in upstate New York. He used to be in plumbing and heating and home improvements, and went to Florida and said, oh my gosh, there's craft stores in Florida. Now, this is the 70s. And he said, there's none in Watertown. So he decided to open up a craft store. It was really, really quite popular. And then after maybe 10, 12 years, he decided to get back into his original business, which was the plumbing, the heating, and the home improvements. So that's what he does today, part-time, because he is 81 years old. He works with my brothers who own the business now in our hometown. So what I'm going to do is I do want to put some of this in, but I'm going to tie it off before I lose it. I'm going to wrap this around like this. I'm going to cut some off. It's, you know, I can see why people have little bow makers, because it leaves your hands free to kind of play around with your bow. Okay, so let's just tie this. Oh, ding dang. All right. That's not going to help if that's breaking. See, this isn't what I used the last time for this. Let me see. We'll try this one more time, see if this will work. I'm going to lay it here, hoping that I am in the picture. Okay. Do a nice little knot. Okay. This, I did want, oh, pull that. Okay, so now I'm gonna fluff my little bow here. I'm gonna do a little trimming on some of these ends. And I probably should have put a little bit of this in. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can add a little bit. See what happens. Just for kicks, right? And if I don't like it, I can take it out. Do this, my back. This is my front. Here. See if I'm gonna like that. I'm not sure I'm gonna like it. I thought I would, but I'm not. Okay, so now we have this nice little bow that I'm gonna tuck up here, and see this. It's a wee bit unruly, but that's okay. I'm gonna cut some of these longer strands off, see if that's helpful. Oh, I didn't get all of that one. And I got that there. Okay, let's see. Still kind of a big bow there. So maybe I will put this one up on the edge up there, where the other one I tied like within, like inside. So you can see the edge here. I tied it inside, but maybe I'll put this one up. And you know, because this is a little girl, that's a foo-foo. That's a foo-foo. So let's try that. I'm just gonna tie this to this little edge here and see if I like it, and then I'll end up gluing it down just so it stays in place. All right. I'm just gonna make a little bow, because this way I can untie it if I feel like it's either in the way or I want to move it, and then it's not really. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so I am gonna want her more in the middle, and I'm gonna want her up a little higher, I think. And I'm thinking, oops, okay. So I think I want her up a little higher. I think if I could pull this up as well. Let me just, I'm gonna pull this one down, because you're really not seeing much of that eyelet. So maybe we want to move it. Oh my gosh, I love this picture so much. Okay, so if we did something like that, and then I can add a little bit of that there. And you know, let's see if we put maybe, I'm gonna just wrap these around my fingers like this. This might be a little bit too short. I'm thinking a little something like that, and I put some buttons with it. Ooh, I have this nice big button. Yeah, I'm not loving that. Okay. What if we have this up here and this is sort of down here? I'm liking that better. I'm going to cut some of this off. It feels a little bit too big for me. So I think if we put that there with and these are glass buttons here. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. This, I don't know, this might be glass. It feels cold to me. It's kind of how I gauge whether it's a glass button or not. And then I can just do something like this up there. I'm not crazy about all three of these the same size. I like that a little bit better. So I do like that. I'm happy with that. I want to try and find a word. All right, so I feel like I need a little something up there. I mean, I can do, I'm wondering if we just do something. Oh, there we go. That's what I need. I just needed a little bit different. Okay, so I'm thinking this is kind of how we're going to glue her down, is like this. I'm loving the layers. I love using the, let me get my glue. I'm at the bottom and I meant to get a new one before we started, but of course I did not. So I have to put one upside down in the other. I use Fabri-Tac. I like Fabri-Tac a lot. I like how it works, how it looks. So let's get my layers off. And then I'm gonna grab a new one because that's gonna be a pain in the patootie. You can already see that. Okay. All right. Let me grab a pin. Get this. Because this is a new one, I've got to get the paper out of the top. There we go. Really? Gonna be a pain today? Gonna take its, oh boy. Maybe I can do it this way. Push it out. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I should have been ready. And I was not. Here we go. Okay. Use my handy dandy scissors. All right, so this will go so fast with this one. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of push this up out of the way. I'll make sure I'm in the, I am, that's great. All right, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on all the rails or the sashes, I guess. Whew, that stuff comes out fast. This is not gonna go anywhere. That's all I have to say, is it is not going anywhere. Okay. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here. I'm gonna put some up here because I really don't want that flopping down. Do that. And then I'm going to put a little bit around here. And I was thinking, boy, is this upside down? Is it not? But it's the right way. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't care anyways. Sometimes if it's upside down or not the right side up, I don't really care. All right, and that little cutie patootie is going to go right here, because we've got that coming in, right? Yep. And get some glue on her. This is Don Jerry. Everybody knows Don Jerry. Okay, I'm gonna put lots of glue on her because I don't want her to come off. We'll slide her to the left a bit. So we want this up here. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna put that button off to the side. I don't want it to cover that flower. I'm going to put this one on, but I was wondering if maybe I wouldn't want to put a little bit of a layer, but I didn't like how big it was. That's why I wanted to do that. And this way I moved her over a bit and I can see that lace and everything right there, and I like that. Okay, got that. This on here. Woo! Lots of glue, because I've been using one that's at the end, so it takes forever for it to come out. And this one's so fast, and so more is coming out than I want. That's okay. So put our little buttons here. Really like the little cluster like that. I'm gonna glue, put a little bit of glue on this, get this glued down. And get her. Oh. Gosh, she's adorable. I can't stand how cute she is. And then this, I'm gonna just kind of tuck this up underneath. This is also a glass button. I don't always use glass buttons. Sometimes I use some that are plastic, and I don't know if they're always vintage or not. And then this I cut off of here, so I'm wondering if maybe I wouldn't want to just add a little something here, but I'm not sure I need that. Maybe yeah, I'm gonna add that there. I like that little texture underneath the button like that. You know, I feel like I know I like to do things in threes. So I feel like 1, 2, 3, you know, 1, 2, 3. All right, we've got that. Let me see if I can find, I have some vintage cards here that I loved the little friend. I didn't know if I could get that somewhere on here. Tear that out. I love these guys. Hello there. I thought that was cute. I don't know if I want to use that. Good wishes. I like the little teddy bear. But I really want, I don't want to use baby. I think I might add the little puppy because I just think that's adorable, and I love adding a little bit of pink to it. So don't cringe, please, that I am cutting this up. It's giving it new life, you know. I'm grateful that people have saved things so that they can be reused, because I can tell you this would have been when I was a kid, and I don't have any of these. So Let's see if this is something I would even like on here. I definitely don't want the puppy, so we're gonna cut that off. And then I'm gonna ink around this, if I can find my ink dauber. Just so that where I ripped it, you can't really see the white edges. So I'm trying to cover those up. And it also gives it a little bit of a vintage look. Not really sure where I want to put this. Maybe it would be cute up here. With this little button here, kind of like that. So that out of the way. Like, oh boy. See, these little things are the things that get me hung up. Yeah, I like it down here better. Let me see what I got that I can put behind it. And I do like to put a little something, if it strikes me, sometimes I like a little background to it. This is an old pillowcase. You don't even have to cut it, and you can pull it apart. I'm gonna put this here. Yeah. This just may make it, just may be too much. Some of that lace we used in the bow. Okay, and then, nope, I don't like that. If I'm gonna do anything, I think it's either gonna be here coming out of here. I just like the little bit of pink. Maybe little rogue string there. I think I'm going to put it right there. I like that. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of glue on my bow. Yeah, I like that. Great. All right, so I want my bow to stay. So I'm going to put some glue along here. To start with. I am going to make this a knot because it's going to stay here. I'm going to trim my tails. Look at that. Okay. Then I want to, I have glue all over my fingers. I'm going to bring a couple of these pieces to this side so that it kind of hides a little bit of the where we tied it. So I like that look like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit. Oh, shit, that's glued under there. Ooh, lovely. I'm just going to put a little glue here and just put, I don't want the bow to end up falling off at all. Okay, so, oh my gosh, that's adorable. And I love the great big huge oversized bow on her. So let me just push my things out of the way. And we are done with her today. I hope you like this little project. It's super easy and fast. Just take some old linens, a vintage photo, a little basket, and you can hang it on the wall. We'll put like a little hanger on here when I go to hang it up. And I loved using all the different things for my bow. And I hope you enjoyed it. And here was the first one that I had created. And I think this one's adorable as well. So these are my two I don't want to put that in the paint, so it may not be in the camera. Whoop. And here you go. You can see both of them. So thank you so much for watching today. Appreciate you being here. Sorry about my camera angle. I had to get a new tripod. So hopefully I got a new one coming pretty soon. So anyways, so that you don't see the end of it. But that's besides the point. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon.